Chapter 1135 Wedding Surprise _3. If it weren't for Ni Yang, you would be the one marrying Xianxia now, and you would be the one basking in success. It's all Ni Yang's fault. All her doing. Watching Zuoling's expression change bit by bit, Wu Yinyun continued, Big brother Zua, do you know how great Shangguanzai's family is? Now Shangguan Dehui has handed all the Shangguan family's properties to Shangguanxi. In the future Shangguanxi will be the highest leader in the Shangguan group. If you hadn't broken up with Shangguanxi, that highest leader would have been you. It was Ni Yang who ruined you. The last sentence was full of deep hatred. She hated Ni Yang. She wished to see Ni Yang's family ruined and destroyed. Why should she bear all the suffering alone? She wanted Ni Yang to share the pain with her. Ni Yang, that bitch. Zuoling was completely enraged, grabbing a wine bottle and hurling it to the ground. Bang, the wine bottle shattered into pieces. Indeed. If Shangguanxi hadn't broken up with him initially, all of this would have been his. All his. All right. Wu Yinyun continued to provoke Zuoling's emotions. Big brother Zua, do you know who Shangguanxi is marrying? Who? Zuoling looked at Wu Yinyun. It's Wu Qinjun. Wu Qinjun has a very good family background. He grew up with Shangguanxi, but Shangguanxi doesn't love Wu Qinjun. If she did, she would have been with Wu Qinjun long ago. Why bother being with you for 3 years? Zuoling narrowed his eyes. Then why is she marrying Wu Qinjun? Is Xiaoxi being forced? Wu Yinyun shook her head. She was manipulated. Do you want to know who manipulated her? Who? It's Ni Yang. Wu Yinyun continued. Ni Yang, like her mother, has always been vain. She looked down on you because you were born poor, so she tried to tarnish your reputation in front of Shangguanxi. When that failed, she worked with Li Tong to seduce you. Hearing this, Zuoling clenched his fists, trembling all over. Anger. He was so angry. He never thought that his and Shangguanzai's breakup was all orchestrated by someone. Wu Yinyun slightly curled her lips. Big brother Zua, the vengeance of losing a wife is intolerable. Do you want revenge? Do you have a way? Zuoling suddenly turned back to look at Wu Yinyun. Wu Yinyun looked at Zuoling. As long as you follow my lead, I have a way. Really? Wu Yinyun nodded. Why do you want to help me? Zuoling countered. Wu Yinyun smilingly said, because we have a common enemy. She's Ni Yang. Zuoling followed up, how do you plan to help me? Wu Yinyun gestured for Zuoling to come closer with a beckoning of her little finger. Zuoling leaned his ear closer. Wu Yinyun whispered a few sentences into Zuoling's ear. Listening, Zuoling's face turned pale. Swallowing, he asked, can this really work? Why wouldn't it? Wu Yinyun continued, Big brother Zua, think about the life you're living now. Are you really content with spending your days with Qin Liebao, that fat woman? Reminded of Qin Liebao, Zuoling fell silent. He was fed up with Qin Liebao. Sometimes he even thought it would be better off dead than live in such a demeaning way. Wu Yinyun, seeing the timing is just right, Big brother Zua, instead of continuing with that fat woman, it's better to be ruthless and make a big move. This is the vengeance for losing your wife. Since the Ni family won't let you live well, why should you let them live well? They dare to bully you, to disregard you, merely because they see you as a poor nobody. But big brother Zua, although we're poor, we cannot be without spirit. We cannot let others bully us like this without a peep. We need to make them pay a bloody price too. We need to let Ni Yang know that we're not to be trifled with. Indeed, Wu Yinyun had once again provoked Zuoling. He nodded and said, all right. I'll listen to you. Wu Yinyun patted Zuoling's shoulder. Then big brother Zua, you better go back and rest early. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay. The next day was the wedding day for Shangguanxi and Wu Qinjun. Both the bride's and the groom's families were bustling. And so many people were coming to the Ni family to offer their congratulations. The wedding process was such that the groom would arrive at the bride's home in the morning to pick up the bride, then everyone would go together to the hotel. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlov. Com, if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1136 Wedding Surprise _4. Shangguan family held a Western-style wedding, and Shangguanxi was wearing a custom wedding dress from France. A white wedding dress that was conservative yet not without trendy elements. The hem was a floor-sweeping mermaid tail, which needed 4 little flower girls to hold it up. After changing, when Ni Yang came out of the fitting room, her eyes lit up. Wow, Sister Xiaoxi, I didn't notice you had such a great figure. A mermaid tail wedding dress required someone with an excellent figure to bring out its beauty. Xianxia rarely wore form-fitting clothes, so Ni Yang really hadn't realized that Xianxia also had a good figure. Adele said with a smile, "Sister Xiaoxi is the most beautiful bride in the world today." Zhao Yu ran in with a camera. "Mom, shall we take a picture with Aunt Xiaoxi?" "Sure, sure." Adele loved taking photos the most. "How can you take photos without me?" Du Jiao walked in from outside. "And you can't forget about me." Li Yao followed in. The girls set the camera to automatic mode and took several photos around Xianxia as the center. After taking photos, Zhao Yu asked Du Jiao, "Sister Jiao, has Lord Du arrived?" Ever since the auntie incident last time, Zhao Yu hadn't called Du Jiao auntie again. Because it made her seem too old. Du Jiao shook her head. "He's about to become a Buddha on the spot. How could he possibly come to such a lively place?" "Become a Buddha on the spot?" Zhao Yu asked. "Is that not an exaggeration? Could a person who can't let go of earthly desires become a Buddha?" "Keep in mind, Lord Du still wears a string of blood Bodhi beads on his hand. You haven't interacted with him much, so it's normal you don't understand." Du Jiao continued, "This man is even more monk-like than a monk." Zhao Yu stuck out her tongue. Li Yao continued, "By the way, whose idea was it to line the roadside with roses? It's just so romantic and beautiful." Jinghua village was never short of roses, so the main road today was lined with bright red roses on both sides. Xianxia smiled. "It was Yang's idea. She was busy with my brother and Imo Qishan and several others for an entire afternoon yesterday. In summer, if roses were directly placed on the roadside, they would definitely die from the sun, so Ni Yang specially bought many glass bottles and filled them with a special potion, not only to preserve the life of the roses but also not to impact their reusability. Yang, your idea is pretty good. When I get married next year, I'm going to do the same." Ni Yang nodded. "If you need more hands, I can come help." Li Yao said with a laugh. Yang, don't tease me, you're a big leader now who could afford to ask for your prestigious help?" Speaking of Ni Yang's current assets, her net worth had surpassed 8 figures. It was just that she had always kept a low profile and didn't act like a capitalist. If it weren't for witnessing it herself, Li Yao would never believe that a girl only 19 years old could achieve so much. Moreover, she believed that Ni Yang's achievements were far more than what they were now. Ni Yang would only grow stronger each day. Ni Yang swept the lock of hair beside her cheek to the back of her head, her tone light. "It's actually Sister Yao who is teasing me. I'm hardly any big Buddha." Her current achievements had not yet reached 1/10 of those in her past life. She still needed to work hard. Downstairs, Gooden, Yang Guobao, and Mo Hudi were playing the blind man's bluff game with little Ni Yun. "Gooden brother, Debao brother, Sister Shoudai, where are you guys?" Little Ni Yun, with a cloth tied over her eyes, stretched out her hands searching around. Gooden, Yang Guobao, and Mo Hudi each covered their mouths, looking at little Ni Yun with evil grins on their faces. No one responded and little Ni Yun was getting anxious. This anxiety often led to trouble. Her little feet stepped on a big stone. Smack! She fell to the ground. Yun's sister. Gooden's face turned pale and he immediately rushed over. "Yun's sister, are you all right?" "Huh. Gooden brother, I've caught you." Little Ni Yun hugged Gooden's neck. Now it's Gooden brother's turn to be the blind man. Gooden was still unsure of what had happened, checking little Ni Yun's feet. "Yun's sister, are you okay? Does it still hurt?" "Haha. Gooden brother is a fool." Gooden finally realized and breathed a sigh of relief. "It's fine as long as you're okay, he'll be the blind man then." Yang Guobao put his hands behind his back and walked over nonchalantly. Gooden is such a big fool. Source, web novel. Com updated by Novlov. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1137 Wedding Surprise _5. Debao, you can't call Gooden a big fool. Little Ni Yun stood in front of Yang Guobao with her hands on her hips, declaring earnestly, "Although Gooden really is a big fool, you're not allowed to say it. Only I can call Gooden a big fool." Yang Guobao chuckled. "Little Yun, you're a big fool too." Little Ni Yun responded, "I've decided not to be called Little Yun from now on, I want to be called Go Yun. Debao, you should call me Go Yun from now on." Yang Guobao thought about it seriously for a moment then said, "No. You can't be called Go Yun." "Why?" Yang Guobao came over and hugged Gooden's neck. "Because Go is a special word between me and Gooden, only men in our dog generation can use it. You're a girl so you can't use Go. That's gender discrimination." Little Ni Yun, rubbing her eyes, walked up to Gooden. Gooden, I want to be part of the dog generation too. Gooden couldn't stand to see little An Yun cry, hurriedly said, Okay, Go Yun. From now on you'll be Go Yun. Really? Little An Yun suddenly excited. Gooden patted little An Yun's head. Of course it's true. When has Gooden ever lied to you? But what if Debeo disagrees? Gooden continued, I'm the boss here, his opinion doesn't matter. Little An Yun immediately made a face at Yang Guobao and then joyfully spun around on the spot. Great. From now on, I'm Go Yun. I'm part of the dog generation too. Mo Hudi at the side. Are these three idiots? At this moment, little did the three know that the dog generation nicknames they were so proud of would become an embarrassing part of their past. Imagine this. A high-powered, stoic CEO. A righteous and upright diplomat. How on earth could such distinguished individuals be chased around and called Gooden and Debeo? The scene is too beautiful to even imagine. After playing the blindfolded catching game for a while, little An Yun found it boring, so the four of them played hide and seek together. The An family was bustling with guests today, along with the villagers from Jinghua village. The scene could really be described as packed like sardines. At the entrance of Jinghua village, Wu Yenyun had been waiting here for a long time. She was waiting for Zuoling. It had been 10 minutes past the arranged time, but there was still no sign of Zuoling. Did he chicken out at the last minute? Another 10 minutes passed, and Zuoling finally showed up, albeit late. Brother Zua, you finally came, I thought you weren't coming. Zuoling was wearing a brand new suit and trendy toed glasses. How could I not come, let's go. Wu Yenyun nodded. Zuoling then asked, what should we do later? Wu Yenyun replied, stick to the original plan. Zuoling nodded, okay. Just then Wu Yenyun seemed to smell alcohol and turned back to look at Zuoling. Have you been drinking? Yeah. As the saying goes, alcohol courageously boosts fear. He really needed a bit of liquid courage. A sneering light flashed in Wu Yenyun's eyes and she continued, be careful later, make sure acquaintances don't notice us. I know. Today at the Ni family, everything was lively. Far away Wu Yenyun could see Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui welcoming guests. Ni Tsuehua was dressed formally today, with makeup and high heels, her smile very obvious. The saying joy rejuvenates was clearly evident on her. Wu Yenyun scoffed. Ni Tsuehua was certainly interesting, disregarding her own daughter while hosting a wedding for a stepdaughter. If unaware people saw this, they would think Shangguan was her biological daughter. Disgusting. Hypocritical. Such a person didn't deserve happiness at all. Wu Yenyun's hand clenched tighter inside her sleeve, her sharp fingernails piercing into her palm, blood staining her nails, but Wu Yenyun seemed to feel nothing at all. As if she had lost her sense of pain. In an instant, Wu Yenyun put away the malevolence on her face and walked to the side. There little An Yun was playing hide and seek with her friends. Little Yunyun, Wu Yenyun squatted in front of little An Yun. Little An Yun paused then excitedly said, Hey! You're Sister Yenyun. Sister, you're here too. Despite her young age and because neither the Ni family nor Zhao Yu ever spoke ill of Wu Yenyun in front of little An Yun, her impression of Wu Yenyun remained as it was before. Source, web novel. Com updated by Novlov. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1138 Wedding Surprise _6. Wu Yenyun hated no one more than Ni Yang except for little Ni Yun. Because little Ni Yun was simply the darling of the family, everything she ate, wore, and used was the best and some items were even imported. Did she enjoy any of these when she was young? Starving, freezing, this was her entire childhood and even as she grew up she still faced these hardships. Life in the Wu family has only improved recently. Since the Ni family likes little Ni Yun so much, then she'll ruin her by her own hand. This is what they owe her. What she couldn't have, no one else should have either. She will make the entire Ni family suffer endlessly. Wu Yenyun snapped out of her thoughts and nodded with a smile. Yes, Sister Yenyun is here too. By the way, little Yenyun, your second sister knows a place that's really good at hiding people. If you come with me they definitely won't be able to find you. How about it? Okay. Little Ni Yun nodded. So easily deceived, maybe that was just her fate. Wu Yenyun sneered. Better dead and transcended early, hoping little Ni Yun won't be reborn into the Ni family in her next life. Come with me this way. Wu Yenyun led little Ni Yun to the other side. By the way, do you want some candy from second sister? Yes. Little Ni Yun's eyes lit up. Wu Yenyun handed a piece of candy to little Ni Yun. Strawberry-flavored fruit candy, Also little N.I. Yun's favorite. Very sweet. Second sister, you are so kind. Wu Yinyun smiled faintly. Gradually, little N.I. Yun felt something was off and rubbed her eyes. Second sister, I'm so sleepy. Wu Yinyun carried little N.I. Yun over to Zuoling. Brother Zua, let's hurry. Zuoling took little N.I. Yun. Xiaoxi hasn't come out yet. I want to see what she looks like in a wedding dress. Wu Yanyun's expression turned cold. Do you want to be discovered by others? Just a glance. Wu Yinyun furrowed her brows. No. Go with me. What's there to see in a woman who has changed her heart? Don't forget she's getting married to someone else today. Hearing this, Zuoling's expression changed. Right. Shangguanxi is going to marry someone else. What was he lingering for? He will make Shangguanxi remember this day for the rest of her life. Zuoling hardened his heart and turned around with little N.I. Yun in his arms. Wu Yinyun finally breathed a sigh of relief. Upon reaching the village entrance, Wu Yinyun continued, I've got the person for you. What happens next is up to you. I'm going back. Zuoling nodded. Wu Yinyun walked a few steps, then turned back to look at Zuoling. Brother Zua, remember my words, don't be weak and merciful. Little N.I. Yun might be young, but she's no good thing. We are ridding the people of a nuisance. I know. Wu Yinyun went on. Brother Zua, remember this sentence, kindness to others is cruelty to oneself. Zuoling continued nodding. After saying all this, Wu Yinyun got on the bus home. Zuoling also walked away with little N.I. Yun. At the N.I. family, Debao the cat sensed something was wrong because he had found both Yang Guobao and Mo Hudi, but not little N.I. Yun. Debao, sister Xiaodai, little Yun Yun seems to have disappeared. No way. Mo Hudi was startled. He'll go upstairs and tell sister now. Yang Guobao said, Debao, let's look for little N.I. Yun together. Upstairs, N.I. Yang inexplicably felt her heart racing. Yang, I think I just saw Zuoling. Shangguanxi came over from the corridor, looking uneasily at N.I. Yang. She had a bad feeling about seeing Zuoling at such a time. Zuoling. N.I. Yang squinted her eyes. Sister Xiaoxi, don't overthink it. I'll go check it out. As N.I. Yang reached the top of the stairs, she saw Debao running up panting. Sister N.I. Yang. What's wrong, Debao? Why are you running so fast? Debao was close to tears. Sister N.I. Yang, little Yun Yun is missing. What? N.I. Yang's face turned pale. She took Debao's hand and began to walk. Debao, don't panic, tell me what happened just now. Source, web novel. Com updated by Novlov. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1139 found Zuoling seeing N.I. Yang. Gooden felt inexplicably reassured and quickly recounted what had happened. We were just playing hide and seek with Debao and Sister Xiaodai, but although I found both Debao and Sister Xiaodai, I couldn't find little Yun Yun. I checked all her usual hiding spots. N.I. Yang tightly held Gooden's hand. Gooden, now take me to the place where you were playing hide and seek just now. Okay. Gooden nodded. The place where the kids were playing hide and seek was right in front of the N.I. family's courtyard. Some people were chatting away, others playing cards, all bustling with activity. When Zuoling appeared at the wedding, N.I. Yang already felt that something was amiss. Now, with Gooden running over to say little N.I. Yun was missing, a sense of foreboding suddenly surged in N.I. Yang's heart. Could little N.I. Yun's disappearance be related to Zuoling? But to little N.I. Yun, Zuoling was a stranger. Little N.I. Yun was always cautious and would never follow a stranger. If Zuoling had forcibly taken little N.I. Yun away, she would definitely be crying non-stop. If little N.I. Yun cried, others would hear her. Besides relatives from the N.I. family and the Shangguan family, there were villagers from Jinghua village present. They all knew little N.I. Yun. It made no sense for little N.I. Yun to be crying non-stop without anyone hearing. Considering this, N.I. Yang narrowed her eyes. There were only 3 answers N.I. Yang could think of right now. 1. Little N.I. Yun was taken somewhere to play by someone. 2. She was lured away by someone she knew, who then handed her over to Zuoling. 3. She fell asleep in some corner because of the hide-and-seek game. Each of these situations was possible. Seeing that N.I. Yang's expression was somewhat off, Mo Qishan, who was helping with the dowry, hurried over and asked, Yang, what's wrong? N.I. Yang glanced around and whispered, Yun Yun is missing. What? N.I. Yang quickly stepped on tiptoes and covered Mo Qishan's mouth. Brother Mo, keep your voice down. Don't let others hear for now, especially Sister Xiaoxi and Brother Qinjun. After all, today was Shangguanxi and Wu Chenjin's wedding, a once-in-lifetime event for Shangguanxi. N.I. Yang didn't want to scare her. After all, the Wu family was still waiting for their new bride. There was only such an auspicious time in a year, and if missed, one would have to wait till next year. Mo Chishan nodded slightly. Okay, I got it. I'll arrange for people to start searching immediately. Yang, don't panic yet. Although Yang was very anxious, she had to calm down. Right, Brother Mo, I heard Sister Xiaoxi say Zuoling came to the wedding. You have someone check at Zuoling's place first and also get Wu Yenyun involved. Yang had been doing business and had not made enemies with anyone. Moreover, she led everyone to prosper together, so the villagers from nearby villages all had a very good impression of her. They had no reason to harm little Yun. So the only person Yang could think of was Wu Yenyun. The most crucial point was that Wu Yenyun had always harbored deep resentment against them, and little Yun had no guard against Wu Yenyun. If Wu Yenyun indeed harbored malicious intent, it would be much more convenient for her to act than others. Okay. Yang said, then we'll split up to act. I'll go and inform my parents. Cuihua was entertaining guests with Shangguan Dehui. Yang walked over, took Shangguan Dehui's hand. Dad, could you come over for a minute? I have something to tell you. Okay. Seeing that Yang's expression was off, Shangguan Dehui immediately walked aside with her. Yang mentioned the matter about little Yun to Shangguan Dehui. Upon hearing this, Shangguan Dehui's face immediately changed color. Yang continued, Dad, quietly tell Mom about this. No matter what, it mustn't affect the normal progress of the wedding. Also, don't tell the grandpas and grandmas. Let's ask the 3 elders to entertain the guests for now, and then we'll go to the police station to report. Just at that moment, Cuihua walked out with 2 bags of wedding candies. What are you father and daughter talking about? Mom, come here a moment. Yang gestured to Cuihua. Cuihua smiled and said, What's the matter? Why so secretive? Yang repeated the story. As soon as she finished speaking, the smile on Cuihua's face froze at her lips. Yang held Cuihua's hand. Mom, don't panic yet. Brother Mo has already arranged for people to search. Now, please go and tell the grandpas and grandmas, just say we have to leave for a bit. It's a bit troubling, but please have them continue entertaining the guests. Source, web novel. Com updated by Novlov. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1140 found Zuoling_2. Okay. I'll go right now. Cuihua held back her tears and put a smile back on her face. Immediately after speaking, Cuihua hastily turned around and left. Yang went upstairs to find Xiaoyu. Duo, do you still have any bird brothers around? Yes, what's up? Xiaoyu didn't know about the incident with little Yun yet. Originally, Yang didn't want to tell Xiaoyu about little Yun because Xiaoyu has a quick mouth, can't keep things to himself, and he's very fond of little Yun. She was afraid that Xiaoyu might accidentally let it slip. But now, there were some things that only Xiaoyu could help with, so Yang had no choice but to tell him. As expected, after hearing the news, Xiaoyu was extremely anxious. Then I'll get my brothers and sisters to look for little Yun right now. Yang, do you think little Yun could have gotten into trouble? No way. Yang grabbed Xiaoyu's hand and continued, By the way, Duo, in order to ensure that today's wedding goes smoothly, we absolutely must not let Sister Xiaoxi and others find out about this. Seeing Yang's serious expression, Xiaoyu nodded hurriedly, Okay. Yang, don't worry, I won't tell anyone else. Then if you find out any news, call for me immediately. I have to go out for a bit now. After speaking with Yang, Xiaoyu immediately went outside and blew a few whistles, summoning a big flock of bird brothers. Inside the house, Cuihua briefly explained to the 3 elders that they needed to step out but did not mention little Yun's disappearance. Yang was right. Both families' relatives were here today and under no circumstance should they impact Shangguan's wedding. Although Cuihua didn't say much, old Madame Shangguan still felt a bit uneasy. Daya, has something happened? If something happens, you and your husband mustn't hide it from us. You should tell us and we'll solve it together. If it weren't for something significant, Shangguan Dehui and Cuihua would not have left so many people behind unattended. Cuihua shook her head. It's not a big deal, we just need to step out for a bit. Mom, please help us entertain the guests, we will be back soon. Are you sure nothing happened? Old Madame Shangguan was still not reassured. Truly nothing. Cuihua said earnestly. Madame Zheng came out and said, Ting, if it's nothing serious, you and Dehui should stay. Today is Xiaoxi's big day, How can you as parents leave? Nai Tsuehua was only the stepmother. Leaving at this time could potentially invite criticism. Just like that, we'll be back soon. Thank you for your help, both moms. After leaving these words behind, Nai Tsuehua hurriedly walked out. Have you told your parents? As soon as they walked outside, Shangguan Dehui came over holding the car keys. Dehui Dia, let me go with you. Su Lian came over anxiously from the side. Su Lian was Shangguan Zai's aunt and had raised Shangguan Su and Shangguan Shi single-handedly, so she held a certain position within the Shangguan family. Therefore, Shangguan Dehui told Su Lian about the situation so that if he and Nai Tsuehua did not return later, Su Lian could stand in for Nai Tsuehua to manage the situation. Shangguan Dehui said, No need, Sister Su Lian. Nai Yang and we will go. If we all go, it will make the guests suspicious. By the way, if they find Yunyun near home or if Yunyun comes back on her own, remember to call me. Okay, no problem. Su Lian nodded, then be careful on the road, don't be in a hurry. Nai Yang holding the car keys came from the other side. Mom, Dad, this way, it'll drive us there. Shangguan Dehui and Nai Tsuehua got into Nai Yang's car. When Madame Zheng saw Nai Yang leaving as well, she started feeling that something was amiss and became uneasy. What big thing had happened to make all three of them leave in such a hurry? Nai Yang cares deeply for her sister Shangguan Shi, and if it weren't for a serious matter, she wouldn't leave at such a moment. Madame Zheng held her husband's hand. Old man, I feel like something's wrong. Old Master Zheng had noticed something amiss too, but he understood that at this moment, they were the pillars of the household, and they certainly couldn't lose their composure. It's nothing, just overthinking. Taking good care of the guest is the best way to help Dehui and Tingting. Source, web novel. Com updated by Novlov. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1141 found Zhuoling_3. The car was fast and it wasn't long before we arrived in the city. We successfully reported to the police station. Under normal circumstances, you have to wait 24 hours before reporting a missing person. But since little Nai Yun is only 4 years old this year and has no civil conduct capacity, she could be subjected to harm at any time. The police station immediately treated it as a criminal case and launched an investigation. Nai Yang had just come out of the police station when he saw Mo Kishin's car parked at the entrance. Yang. Mo Kishin got out of the car and hurried over. How is it, did you find Yunyun? No. Nai Yang shook his head. How about on your end? Mo Kishin continued. Just got a report that Wu Yinyun did meet with Zhuoling last night. Now Zhuoling is nowhere to be found and Wu Yinyun is at home. Let's go take a look at the Wu family. Nai Yang suggested. Okay, well, take my car. Mo Kishin opened the car door for Nai Yang. As they settled into the car, Mo Kishin continued, Yang, don't worry, I've already had someone watch all the major train stations and airports. They will report to me immediately if they spot anyone suspicious. Can we locate where Zhuoling went now? Nai Yang asked. Nai Yang wasn't afraid that Xiaoni was abducted, but she was more worried that Xiaoni might have been harmed. Mo Kishin shook his head, no response yet. In this era without surveillance cameras, finding someone's whereabouts in a short time is truly difficult. It didn't take long for the car to arrive at the Wu family's residence. Today both Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju were at home. Seeing Nai Yang and Mo Kishin arriving, the Wu couple were very surprised. Their intuition told them something must have happened. Yang Xiaoma, why have you come? Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu came up to ask. Nai Yang didn't have time to elaborate, he directly asked, Godfather, Godmother, is Yenyun at home? At home, Wu Jinshu immediately nodded, I'll call her out for you. Wu Jinshu hurried off to the bedroom to fetch someone. As Yan Erju was busy pouring water for Nai Yang and Mo Kishin, she asked, Yang, you're in such a hurry to find Xiaoyan, did something happen? Or did Xiaoyan cause more trouble for you again? Nai Yang said, we can only know after we ask her. Upon hearing this, Yan Erju turned pale and quickly grabbed Nai Yang's hand. Yang, tell me the truth, what has happened? It's just something we need to confirm with her. Nai Yang spoke calmly, Godmother, no need to busy yourself, we won't have water. Just then Wu Jinshu came out of the bedroom, dragging along an unwilling Wu Yenyun. The last person Wu Yenyun wanted to see now was Nai Yang. Half out of guilt, half out of dislike. Father. What are you doing? I've already told you, I don't want to see those irrelevant people. Wu Yenyun struggled forcefully. Wu Jinshu was strong, he directly pulled Wu Yenyun in front of Nai Yang. Yang, harass the person, ask whatever you want to ask directly. Don't worry, as her parents, we will absolutely not cover for her. Yang looked at Wu Yunyun. Tell me the truth, does Yunyun's disappearance have anything to do with you? Upon hearing this, Yen Erju's heart skipped a beat. She quickly asked, Yunyun disappeared? Yang nodded. Yen Erju immediately turned to look at Wu Yunyun. Xiaoyan, did you hide little Yunyun somewhere? It wasn't me. Wu Yunyun said angrily. Her disappearance is her fate. What does it have to do with me? Why do you question me? Am I their nanny? Do I look after their child? This is ridiculous. This is Yun's fate. Just like how she was abandoned 18 years ago. It's because you have a previous offense. Yang stared at Wu Yunyun, pronouncing each word clearly. Would a normal person harm an innocent bird out of spite? Instantly, Wu Yunyun seemed like a different person. Her features twisted as she said, Yang, this is slander. False accusation. You are subject to legal responsibility. Are you a police officer? Do you have evidence? I'll sue you in court. Why should Yang question her with such an air of superiority? What gives her the right? Yang and she are sisters related by blood, but Yang had never treated her as a sister. Otherwise, she wouldn't be the first person Yang thought of when Yin disappeared. Why should Yang doubt her? Besides, even if it were her, what about it? Because from the beginning to the end, Yang and the Ni family were the ones in the wrong. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlov. Com. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1142 found Zhuoling_4. 18 years ago, the Ni family cast her aside. Now she can likewise demand an eye for an eye from Ni Yun. That would be fair. Yang stretched out her hand, her pale fingers gripping Wu Yunyun's chin tightly, gradually increasing the pressure. As her red lips parted slightly, she uttered, Listen. If I find out this has anything to do with you, it'll make you wish you were dead. Each word was ice cold, sending shivers down one's spine. Even Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju, who were nearby, felt a chill run through them. It was an odd sensation, considering Yang was just a girl of around 18 or 19, but she exuded the air of a seasoned superior. After saying those words, Yang let go of Wu Yunyun and turned to Imo Qixin. Brother Imo, let's go. Okay, Imo Qixin nodded. After the two of them left, Yen Erju and Wu Jinshu immediately confronted Wu Yunyun. Tell us honestly, does little Yunyun's disappearance have anything to do with you? No. Wu Yunyun screamed, How many times do I have to say it? No means no. Am I your daughter or are they your daughters? Why are you always so biased? If you dislike me now, you shouldn't have picked me up in the first place. The reason I turned out like this is all because of you. Because you didn't provide me with a good family environment. Think about all the hardships I've been through growing up. If she had grown up by Ni Kuihua's side just like Yang, she would definitely be living a better life than Yang right now. What is Yang anyway? Without the Zheng family, what would she amount to? Wu Jinshu raised his hand and slapped Wu Yunyun across the face. You ungrateful thing, you better truly have nothing to do with this. Otherwise, even your mom and I won't be able to hold our heads high. Yen Erju, with tears in her eyes, grabbed Wu Yunyun's hand. Xiaoyan, I know you have always been a good child since you were little. You absolutely mustn't do anything foolish. If you are really hiding Yunyun, tell mom and dad now before it turns into a major mistake, okay? Wu Yunyun shook off Yen Erju's hand. I've said it's not me, can't you stop nagging? On the other end, just as Yang got into Imo Qixin's car, Imo Qixin's pager went off. After reading the message, Imo Qixin looked at Yang. Yang, there's news from Zhuoling, really? Yang's eyes brightened. Yes. Yang nodded slightly, then quickly found a public phone booth and pulled the car over to the side. They approached the phone booth, and Imo Qixin immediately made a call, which was promptly answered. Holding the phone to his ear, a frost seemed to settle on Imo Qixin's brow as he turned to Yang. Yang, Yunyun is indeed with Zhuoling. Do you know the address? I do. Imo Qixin nodded. First notify my mom and them, then confront Zhuoling. After informing Ni Tsuehua and the others, Yang promptly opened the driver's door. I'll drive this time. This was the first time Imo Qixin knew that Yang was such a skilled driver. Dust swirled in their wake as the car sped through. Imo Qixin's pager kept buzzing non-stop. Yang, turn around and head toward Shao Mountain. Zhuoling's location is constantly changing. Screech. The sound of a sharp brake sounded, and the car immediately changed direction. Did you notify my dad? Mo Qishan bowed his head, pressing the pager. I'm sending a message to notify him now. Time ticked by second, and in a blink of an eye, it was the auspicious moment for the bride to get into the car. Under normal circumstances, just before the bride gets into the car, the mother is supposed to say some auspicious words. Seeing that the person saying these words was Su Lian Shangguan, felt a bit puzzled. Aunt, where's my mom? Not only Nai Tsuehua Shangguan, felt it had been quite a while since she saw Nai Yang as well. Su Lian responded with a smile. Your mom and dad are busy downstairs. What, it's not okay for your aunt to do this? Shangguan, said. No aunt, it's not that. Su Lian covered Shangguan's eyes veil while speaking. Okay Xiaoxi, your aunt understands you meant no disrespect. From now on, you are entering the sacred hall of matrimony. Soon you will be a wife and a mother. Listening to Su Lian's words, Shangguan, felt an uneasy premonition. At that moment, Wu Qinjun extended his hand to Shangguan with a smile. Xiaoxi, marry me, I will make you happy from now on. Shangguan reached out her hand, and then Wu Qinjun picked her up by the waist and they descended the stairs. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1143 found Zhuoling_5. Downstairs, Shangguan saw Grandpa Zheng, Grandma Zheng and Grandma Shangguan, but Nai Tsuehua and Nai Yin were nowhere to be found. Even Shangguan de Hui had disappeared. This was just too strange. Before Shangguan could react, Wu Qinjun shoved her into the back seat of the car. Elsewhere, Nai Tsuehua sat in the back seat of the police car, glancing at her wristwatch. Her face suddenly changed. It was past the auspicious hour, and it was almost time for Shangguan to take her vows at the church. That part of the ceremony where the father escorts the daughter simply could not go ahead without Shangguan de Hui. Without Shangguan de Hui as the father, how could the ceremony proceed? De Hui, you must take a taxi to the church right now, there's still time, she urged. Shangguan de Hui said, at this hour how could I be in the mood to go to the church? Nai Tsuehua looked at Shangguan de Hui seriously and said, De Hui, for Xiaoxi you must go. At this moment Xiaoxi cannot be without you. After you've taken the vows then come back here. We still haven't found Zhuoling. You staying here is just a waste of time. What if Zhuoling is found right away? Shangguan de Hui retorted. Nai Tsuehua said, if we do find Zhuoling the police will be there. You won't be much help. Please get out of the car now. Don't disappoint Xiaoxi and don't delay any longer. After the vows hurry back here. We can keep in touch with our pagers. With that, Nai Tsuehua raised her voice towards the police officer in front. Officer, please stop the car, it's my eldest daughter's wedding day and my spouse needs to get to the church immediately. Okay. After the car stopped, Shangguan de Hui was still reluctant to get out, because little Nai Yin needed him more than Shangguan did. Nai Tsuehua pushed him out of the car. De Hui, go quickly and come back soon. Don't disappoint me. After the words fell, Nai Tsuehua quickly closed the car door. Watching the police car drive away, Shangguan de Hui sighed helplessly, and promptly hailed a taxi. After getting in, he handed the driver 20 yuan. Master, I need to get to the Sacred Heart Cathedral at 58 South Street. Can you please drive as fast as possible? With money things become easier, especially since it was 20 yuan. The driver pressed the accelerator. All right. Please fasten your seatbelt. The journey was smooth and it took only about 10 minutes to get to the cathedral. Upon seeing Shangguan de Hui, Shangguan breathed a sigh of relief. Dad, why did you come alone? Where's Mom and Yang? Shangguan de Hui replied, they are at home entertaining the guests. Shangguan said in confusion, but I didn't see them at home just now. Shangguan de Hui smiled and said, there are so many guests at home, it's normal for you to get confused. Where else would they be if not at home? By the way, has the ceremony not started yet? Shangguan turned to look at the wall clock and replied, it seems the priest was delayed by something, the ceremony can start in 5 minutes. Good, Shangguan de Hui said with a sense of urgency, yet he had to maintain his composure on the surface. Shangguan went on, aren't Mom and Yang coming to the ceremony? Intuition told Shangguan that something very abnormal was happening. The house is too busy, Shangguan de Hui answered. Xiaoxi, you don't blame them, do you? Shangguan shook her head. Dad, tell me, has something happened at home? Shangguan de Hui just laughed. You child, what nonsense are you talking about on such a happy day? What could possibly go wrong at home? Just then the priest arrived and they started preparing for the vows. Shangguan de Hui took Shangguan's hand. Let's go, Xiaoxi. The The chimes of the cathedral rang and everything became solemn and serious. Looking at all the faces of her relatives below, Xianxia slowly steadied her heart. After the vows were over, Xianxia immediately left. Here, Zuoling's location had been confirmed. By the time Xianxia arrived, Ni Yin, Mo Qixin and I Cuehua and others were already there. At a dilapidated building, Zuoling was holding little Ni Yun hostage with one hand and clutching a sharp dagger with the other, capable of inflicting harm at any moment. The police were negotiating with Zuoling, whose emotions were extremely agitated. Little Ni Yun was also very scared, crying for her sister and mother. Zuoling himself did not expect the situation to unravel this way. He originally just wanted to kill little Ni Yun to vent his anger, and he hadn't anticipated the police getting involved. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1144 Found Zuoling_6. Shut up. Zuoling fiercely grabbed little Ni Yun by the hair. Little Ni Yun was just a nominal 4-year-old child. She had never experienced anything like this and terrified quickly shut her mouth, but her tears still uncontrollably streamed down. Yin Yun. Yin Yun. And Ai Cuehua cried nearly to the point of fainting. Xianxia hurried to comfort her. It's okay, Dia, believe me, Yun Yun will definitely be fine. With that, Xianxia looked towards Zuoling again. Xiaozhua, calm down, let's sit down and talk about it. The child is innocent, can you let go of Yun Yun, please? Yun Yun is only 4 years old this year. But no matter what everyone said, Zuoling remained silent. If it doesn't explode in silence, it will perish in silence. If this continues, something terrible will definitely happen. Ni Yang looked towards Mo Qixin. Brother Mo, have you contacted Zuoling's parents yet? Mo Qixin glanced at his wristwatch. They should be arriving soon. As soon as he finished speaking, the sound of a car engine came from outside, followed by 2 figures stumbling and tumbling in from outside. They were Zuoling's father and mother. Lingling. Silly child, what foolish thing are you doing? Quickly put that little girl down. Lingling. What are you doing? By doing this, do you still want your parents to live? Upon seeing his parents, Zuoling's expression finally softened and he cried out, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry. It's your son's fault. From now on, just pretend you never had me as your son. Sorry. He didn't want it to be this way either. He didn't even understand how things had ended up this way. By the time he realized it, things had already gone out of control. Zuoling's mother collapsed to the ground. Lingling, what's bothering you? Why do you have to do this? Mom is kneeling here begging you, please let that little girl go. On the way here, the police already told me that as long as you turn back, they won't hold you responsible. Lingling, Mom knows you're a good child, you've just been confused for a moment. Lingling. Turn back, it's safe. Zuoling, crying, shook his head. Mom, I can't go back now, I can't go back. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. What do they mean they won't hold him accountable? He has committed such a heinous crime, how could they possibly not hold him accountable? Did they really think he was a 3-year-old child? Would he believe such nonsense? Seeing her son so stubborn, Zuoling's mother was exceedingly anxious. Her son was only 24 years old and had a bright future ahead. He must not be burdened with murder. Lingling, please listen, how can you do this to your mom and dad? Lingling. Lingling, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Hearing this seemed to infuriate Zuoling even more. Why? Isn't it all because of that bitch Ni Yang? If it weren't for Ni Yang, Xiaoxia and I would not have broken up. If Xiaoxia and I didn't break up, I would be the one marrying her now. It's all Ni Yang. All her fault, that bitch. So I want revenge. I want her to suffer as I have. I want her to live a life worse than death. At these words, a chill went over Mo Qixin's face even thicker. If it wasn't because little Ni Yun was still in the hands of this scumbag Zuoling, he would have already killed him. Mo Qixin took a step forward. Zuoling, you want to marry Xianxia just for money. I promise you now, if you release Ni Yun, I can immediately give you 3 million in cash, plus, he'll give you a plane ticket to Y country. You can live a worry-free life for the rest of your days. 3 million. Zuoling scoffed. Just you? Mo Qixin clapped his hands lightly twice, and immediately 2 men in black suits brought a briefcase over, opening the lid to reveal neat stacks of USD inside. Everyone present was stunned. No one expected Mo Qixin to have prepared such a move, especially Xianxia. The Mo Qixin tonight had greatly broadened his horizons. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, who would believe that this man, chilling enough to send shivers down one's spine, is known in Beijing as a useless layabout? Moreover, how could a so-called layabout produce 3 million in cash within minutes? How could a layabout have influence spread across major areas in Beijing? If it weren't for Mo Qixin tonight, it would have been almost impossible for them to find Zueling so quickly. Mo Qixin continued, Zueling, as long as you release an Yun, all these items will be yours. Zueling squinted his eyes, a greedy glint surfacing. Throw the money over first. Just as Mo Qixin was about to order someone to throw the suitcase over, Yang suddenly picked up the briefcase and walked straight ahead. Yang. Mo Qixin yelled anxiously. Yang turned back and smiled at Mo Qixin. Seeing that smile, Mo Qixin inexplicably felt a bit more at ease. It's going to be okay, Yang will definitely be alright. Yang, carrying the suitcase, took steps towards Zueling. Don't come any closer, just throw the suitcase over. Zueling pulled little Yun and retreated several steps backward. Yang looked at Zueling. Zueling, it's me you hate. My sister has nothing to do with this. I'll give you the suitcase. Can you please release my sister? Do you think I'm an idiot? Zueling roared. The moment I release this girl, you'll immediately capture me. No, we won't. Yang shook her head. I am offering myself in exchange for my sister. If you want to vent your anger, hit me, kill me, I have no complaints, but my sister is innocent. Zueling hesitated. He hated Yang. He really wanted to kill Yang. Choosing little Yun initially because children are easy to deceive, and now given Yang had come by herself, he saw no need for courtesy. Then come over. Okay. Yang nodded. Wait a second. Zueling suddenly spoke. What is it? Yang stopped. Zueling continued. How do I know if you've brought any weapons on you? Yang took off her jacket and threw it on the ground. Is this okay now? After taking off her jacket, she was only wearing a simple white t-shirt and jeans. Zueling breathed a sigh of relief. Come on over. Okay. Yang nodded and slowly walked towards him. Mo Qixin was closely monitoring Yang's moves from his position, not missing any detail. As she came closer to Zueling, Yang stopped. Can you release my sister now? Zueling tightly grasped little Yun's hair with one hand while holding a sharp dagger with the other. Come a bit closer. Yang walked directly up to Zueling and stopped. Zueling kept a tight grip on little Yun's hair while moving the knife-holding hand to Yang's neck, then suddenly kicked little Yun away. It was at this moment that Yang suddenly countered, grabbing Zueling's hand, and with her left elbow she fiercely struck Zueling's chest. Mo Qixin also seized this opportunity, rushing forward with a spinning kick. The two coordinated perfectly. Bang. Snap. Two sounds erupted, one sharp and one dull. The sharp one was the sound of the dagger hitting the ground, the dull one was the sound of Zueling being kicked away. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1145 Arrest Wu Yinyun. Mo Qixin kicked Zueling forcefully, sending him flying a meter away, as a thick trail of blood emerged from the corner of his mouth. In a turn of his gaze, Mo Qixin's eyes met Yang's in mid-air, both corners of their lips slightly curving into a faint smile. It must be said, the tacit understanding between them at that moment was incredibly high. With the danger now eliminated, Tsuehua hurried over and embraced little Yun in her arms. Yun. How is Yun? Yang also walked over. Zueling's kick had been far from gentle, and coupled with a considerable fright, little Yun had fallen into unconsciousness. Yun, are you okay? Don't scare mommy. Yang reached out and held little Yun's wrist. Mom, don't worry, Yun is fine. Saying she was fine was merely to stabilize Quihua's emotions. In reality, little Yun's condition was very serious. Really? Tsuehua was somewhat incredulous. Shengguan Dehui said, Would Yang lie to you? Dia, don't worry. Immediately, paramedics came with a stretcher and carried little Yun onto the ambulance. Seeing that everyone's attention was on little Yun, Zue's father and mother quickly went over to Zueling, helped him up and said, Let's go. Lingling, let's get out of here. If they didn't leave now, it would be too late. Zueling was their only son. Under no circumstance could they let him go to jail. But the nearby police didn't give them the chance to escape, arresting Zue's parents and restraining Zueling, with cold handcuffs clasping around his wrists. Click. In that instant, Zueling knew he was finished. Once handcuffs are on, it's not easy to take them off. Mom, save me. Zueling struggled intensely, his face covered with snot and tears, appearing extremely wretched. He had underestimated Ni Yang. He had thought Ni Yang was just a weak woman, but she was not at all what he imagined. Had he known it would turn out like this, he would have killed the smaller one right away. Now he hadn't accomplished anything and still had to go to jail, which was a huge loss. What now? What do we do now? Zuoling was panicking and flustered. Lingling. Lingling. Zuo's mother rushed to the police, crying and hitting them. You bastards! Let my son go, or I will never let you off. Stop it. The police wouldn't take any of Zuo's mother's antics. If everyone behaved like her, what would be the point of the law? Ma'am, if you continue like this, we will have to arrest you for assaulting an officer. Assaulting an officer? That's not a trivial matter. Hearing this, Zuo's father was terrified, instantly hugging Zuo's mother. Calm down. Please calm down. Zuo's mother cried out, Lingling, my Lingling. Oh my Lingling. Soon the ambulance arrived at the hospital. Upon examination by the doctor, little Ni Yun's condition was not good. She was too small and fragile, and Zuoling's kick had directly damaged her liver, causing liver hemorrhage, concussion and eardrum damage, so she urgently needed surgery, which was highly risky. Hearing this news, Ni Tsuehua fainted. Worried about both little Ni Yun's condition and Ni Tsuehua, Shangguan Dehui was thankful that Ni Yang and Mo Qishan were by his side. Mo Qishan busily handled various procedures, while Ni Yang communicated with the surgeon about the operation, deciding to participate in the surgery herself for a combination of Eastern and Western techniques. Due to little Ni Yun's young age, the surgeon could not guarantee there wouldn't be any lingering effects on her hearing and liver function. Shortly after, the red light in the operating room turned on. Two anxious men waited outside the door, ready to handle any emergency should Ni Tsuehua encounter any during the process, forcing Shangguan Dehui to run between the operating room and the ward. On the other hand, hotel wedding venue. Wu Chenjin's parents and grandmother had both arrived at the hotel. Looking back at Shangguan Zai's side, besides three elderly people, Su Lian and Shangguan Su, Shangguan Zai's parents weren't seen at all since the beginning. Ni Tsuehua was, after all, a stepmother. At this point, Wu Chenjin's relatives started wildly speculating, questioning whether Ni Tsuehua didn't value her stepdaughter Shangguanxi enough to even miss such an important occasion. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1146 Arrest Wu Yanyu 2. The Wu family's parents were okay because they had met Ni Tsuehua and knew that Ni Tsuehua was not that kind of person, but Wu Chenjin's grandmother was somewhat unhappy. The elderly placed the greatest value on etiquette and reputation. No matter what, Shangguanxi is their Wu family's eldest daughter-in-law. How could her parents not be present at such an important moment? What would outsiders think of Shangguanxi? What would they think of their Wu family? Those who didn't know might think that the Wu family had been rude and offended Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui, and that was why the couple hadn't even shown their faces. Mom, don't be angry. Maybe the in-laws had some emergency that delayed them. Chen Qian, Wu Chenjin's mother, persuaded the Wu family's elderly matriarch. The Wu family's elderly matriarch frowned and said, what could possibly be more important than their own daughter's wedding? Chen Qian was stunned. She really couldn't think of a reason that would make both Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua absent. The Wu family's elderly matriarch continued, I originally thought Xiaoxi was a good stepmother, but I didn't expect her to show her true colors so quickly. Who is she performing for? Is she purposely embarrassing Xiaoxi or the Wu family? If this gets out, what will others think of our Wu family? All the stepmothers in the world are cut from the same cloth. The Wu family's elderly matriarch stomped the ground with her walking stick. The elderly lady was truly very angry, because she really couldn't think of any reason that Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua could be absent. Wu Zhihao advised, Mom, there are some things that aren't appropriate to discuss publicly. Maybe they really did have some urgent matter to attend to. I've known Dehui for so many years, I know he's not careless, and the mother-in-law too, you can tell she's also a very reasonable person. The Wu family's elderly matriarch was still somewhat displeased. Even if there was really some big issue, a word in advance would have been appropriate. The Wu family isn't unreasonable. If there had been a big issue, speaking up might have allowed us to offer help. What does it mean for them to not offer any explanation at all? Master Mo and Madame Mo also attended the wedding and found it strange not to see Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua. Back in Jinghua village, the couple Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui were still entertaining the guests. But when it came time for Shangguanxi to get in the car, Ni Tsuehua and Shangguanxi had disappeared. At the church ceremony, Shangguan Dehui appeared briefly, but after the process was completed, he disappeared again. They came and went like the wind. By rights, today was Shangguan Zai's big day, and neither of them were people without discretion. They shouldn't have acted this way. Master Imo looked around and then lowered his head to ask Madame Imo, "How long has it been since you've seen little N.I. Yun?" Madame Imo was startled. "It seems to have been a while." "Yang seems to have disappeared too," Master Imo continued. Madame Imo squinted her eyes and then said, "Now that you mention it, it seems that as soon as Yang's dad and mom disappeared, little N.I. Yun and Yang both vanished." Master Imo nodded. Could something have happened? Madame Mo's brow twitched as she looked at Master Imo. What could have happened? Master Imo stroked his beard. Madame Imo looked around and added, "It seems little Yun is also missing." This statement indeed reminded Master Imo. Could it be little Yun is missing, and that's why they all went to look for her? Madame Imo shook her head. "I think that's unlikely." Adele was also anxious. The wedding was nearly over and she still hadn't seen her parents and sister. How could she not be worried? Duo, where did my parents and sister go?" she asked. Zhao Yu, who had promised N.I. Yang not to talk about the matter indiscriminately, shook his head and said, "I don't know either." At the time, after learning that little N.I. Yun had been kidnapped by Zuoling, N.I. Yang had sent her a message, but after that message there had been no further news. No idea if they had found Zuoling now. After the wedding, Zhao Yu, Adele, Shangguan Su and others as the bride's family, escorted Shangguan Shi to the Wu family. It also served to bolster their courage. It meant to let the Wu family see that Shangguan Shi had many in her maternal family behind her, warning the Wu family not to bully Shangguan Shi. The Wu family was a large clan, and there were many elders present at this time. One of Wu Chenjin's great-uncles confronted Shangguan Shi on the spot, demanding to know what exactly was going on with Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1147 Arrest Wu Yenyun _3. How could they be absent from such an important occasion? How will outsiders view our Wu family after this? This is a matter that concerns the honor of the Wu family, and large clans care deeply about such matters. Shangguan Shi also felt wronged. Ever since Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui disappeared, all sorts of rumors had been buzzing around her. She knew her parents must have run into some trouble, otherwise, they wouldn't have been absent like this without any reason. Wu Chenjun blocked Shangguan Zai's path. "Great uncle, this has nothing to do with Xiaoxi, you have no reason to blame her. Moreover, I believe my in-laws are not that kind of people. Please don't jump to conclusions and make innocent people suffer before understanding what happened." The old matriarch of the Wu family tapped her walking stick. "Today, in front of so many people, your in-laws did not show their faces. How will outsiders look at our Wu family in the future? If this spreads, everyone will think it's our Wu family's lack of graciousness." Wu Chenjun continued, "Aren't Xiaoxi's grandmother and maternal grandparents here? Aren't the faces of these three elders prestigious enough?" The old matriarch of the Wu family retorted, "Chenjun, you're young and you don't understand the intricacies of social interactions. Even if these three elders didn't come today, no one would say anything. But it's different for your in-laws. They are Xiaoxi's parents." At this point, the old matriarch of the Wu family looked toward Shangguan Shi and continued, "Xiaoxi, I know you're a good child, so I don't blame you nor your father. But that stepmother of yours is to blame. She must have instigated something, otherwise your father wouldn't be so confused as to miss his own daughter's wedding. Xiaoxi, since she doesn't care about her daughter's reputation from now on, you don't have to acknowledge that stepmother anymore. Such a person really can't be presented in public." "Grandma." Shangguan Su, who had been silent, stood up from the sofa. "Aren't your words a bit too much?" He had been silent before because they were indeed at fault, but now he had to stand up. He didn't know the reason why his parents missed Shangguan Zai's wedding. When Shangguan Dehui and Ni Tsuehua left, they mentioned it to him, just saying they would go out for a while and asked him to look after the house. He didn't expect that their leaving would turn into almost a whole day. The old matriarch of the Wu family looked at Shangguan Su with an authoritative face. "If she can do such a thing, why can't I say it? Our Wu family is certainly not a mediocre family that can't be seen in public." Because of this statement, the air fell into a silence. Shangguan Zu's face turned somewhat unsightly. Shangguan Zai's eyes began to redden. "No matter what, today you must give me an explanation. Otherwise, whether Xiaoxi acknowledges her mother in the future is not up to me, but our Wu family will definitely not recognize this mother-in-law. At this point, Xiaoyu couldn't care about the consequences and stood up from the sofa. Old lady, you should be grateful that today's wedding could still be successfully held. Had it been any other family, chaos would have ensued. If it weren't for Yang keeping the overall situation in mind, the wedding of Shangguanxi and Zuoling might have to wait until next year. Duo, do you know what happened? Shangguanxi looked at Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu nodded and briefly explained the situation. Upon hearing that little Yun had been taken away by Zuoling and was even subjected to life-threatening danger, Shangguanxi turned pale, staggering a few steps before being caught by Wu Qinjun, who was behind her. Otherwise she would have fallen to the ground. Wu Qinjun quickly consoled Shangguanxi. Xiaoxi, don't panic, Yun is blessed with good fortune, she will definitely be fine. The Wu family, which had been deeply angry, now all lowered their hostility. After all, this was a matter of life and death. The old matriarch of the Wu family's face couldn't hide her unease. What about my in-laws and mother-in-law? Such a big thing happened, how could they not inform us? If it's too difficult to speak of, we could have thought of a solution together to look for her. Xiaoyu said, if the issue was made known to everyone, could the wedding have been held smoothly? My maternal grandparents kept it secret for fear of delaying the auspicious time and went to look on their own. I did not expect you to speak so poorly of them. Kind intentions are treated like an ungrateful deed. The old matriarch of the Wu family was momentarily speechless, filled with regret for her previous behavior. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1148 Arrest Wu Yinyu 4. She really shouldn't have. She shouldn't have wronged Enai Tsuehua without knowing the whole story. Now it seems that Enai Tsuehua is not only not a bad stepmother, but is actually a very understanding and good mother. Her own daughter was in a life-or-death crisis, yet she still thought of her stepdaughter's wedding. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't be able to remain so calm, nor would they sacrifice their own daughter to fulfill their stepdaughter's happiness. Upon this thought, the elder Mrs. Wu immediately apologized to Shangguanxi. Xiaoxi, I'm sorry, Grandma wrongly accused your mom without knowing the situation earlier. I really shouldn't have. The elder Mrs. Wu is a reasonable old lady, and if it was her mistake, then she would not shirk responsibility. That uncle who stood up for the Wu family just now quietly slipped away because he couldn't save face. Originally planning to properly teach these clueless youngsters a lesson, who would have thought it turned out to be a huge misunderstanding. Shangguanxi, pale-faced, shook her head. It's nothing, I'm just worried about Yunyun's condition. Duo, how is Yunyun now? She knew that encountering Zuoling at the wedding was not a good sign, but she didn't expect Zuoling would harm little Yun. It's all her fault. If it weren't for her misjudgment of people, little Yun wouldn't have suffered this calamity. Little Yun was taken away by Zuoling, and she was still busy getting married. She really shouldn't have. Shangguanxi now blamed herself to death. Xiaoyu sighed, I don't know either, my dad hasn't sent a message yet. As soon as these words fell, Xiaoyu's pager beeped. It must be from my dad. Xiaoyu hurriedly took out his pager. How is it? Shangguanxi asked urgently. Xiaoyu continued, they've found her, they're at the hospital, and little Yunyun is still in surgery. The elder Mrs. Wu quickly turned to a servant and said, Old Zhao, get the car ready, we're going to the hospital right away. By the way, Duo, is it at the city hospital? Xiaoyu nodded. The group hurriedly drove to the hospital. Shangguanxi didn't even have time to change out of her wedding toast attire. When they arrived, the surgery was not yet finished. Mo Qishan was waiting outside the operating room. Seeing so many people, Mo Qishan wasn't surprised. Shangguanxi hurriedly ran over and asked, How is the situation now? Why are you here alone? Where are my parents and Yang? Mo Qishan replied, Yunyun's injuries are very serious, so Yang is also involved in the surgery. Your aunt felt uncomfortable and your uncle is taking care of her. What's wrong with my mom? Shangguanxi asked eagerly. Mo Qishan carried on, Your aunt fainted, it's not too serious, you don't need to worry. Where is my mom now? In Ward A101 on the 3rd floor. The group hurriedly ran up to the ward. Enai Tsuehua had just fainted from being worked up, and the situation wasn't too serious. Shangguanxi and the others hadn't been there long before Enai Tsuehua woke up. Seeing Shangguanxi and the others, Enai Tsuehua said in surprise, Xiaoxi, why have you come? At a time like this, how could you, a new bride, be absent? Shangguanxi hugged Enai Tsuehua and cried, The wedding is already over. Mom, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. and Ai patted Shangguan's eyes back. Silly child, how could this be blamed on you? This has nothing to do with you, you mustn't think that way. The elder Mrs. Wu apologized from behind. Xiaoxi's mom, I'm really sorry, we nearly misunderstood you because you and Xiaoxi's dad didn't attend Xiaoxi's wedding. Although she had already apologized to Shangguanxi, she still owed Ai an apology. She shouldn't have thought of Ai that way before. Only then did Ai notice the elder Mrs. Wu. Elder Mrs. Wu, why have you come too? This is our family's affair, I'm sorry for making you worried. Xiaoxi's mom, please don't say that, it's our Wu family that has wronged you. After speaking a few words with the elder Mrs. Wu, Ai finally had a moment to ask about little Ai Yun's condition. Dehui, how is Yun doing? Shangguan Dehui replied, Yang is also in the operating room, Dia don't worry, Yun will be out soon. Not to make Shangguanxi feel guilty, Ai had to hide her extreme worry, even though she was very anxious. She needs to be strong. Ai looked at Shangguanxi and continued, Xiaoxi, it's fine as long as your dad and I are here at the hospital, you should take Qinjun and bring the elder Mrs. Wu and your grandparents-in-law back home. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1149 Arrest Wu Yenyu 5. Xiaoxiu, you should take Adele and Duo and head back too. You aren't doctors and having so many people staying at the hospital is pointless. Once Yunyun's surgery is successful and she's out, I'll call you guys at home. Shangguan Dehui stood by nodding, your mom is right. You guys should head back. The hospital is full of bacteria, it's not really a good place. Although Ai and Shangguan Dehui said so, neither Shangguan Su nor Shangguanxi left. Instead, they joined everyone else outside the operating room on the second floor, waiting for little Ai Yun to come out. The group had been waiting outside for over 2 hours when the lights inside the operating room finally turned off, and the door slowly opened. Several people in white coats came out. Although they were all dressed similarly and wore light blue masks, Mo Chishan recognized that tall figure immediately. He quickly stepped forward and asked, Yang, how did the surgery go? Ai Yang slowly took off her mask, revealing a face as delicate as a painting. The surgery was very successful. Really? Yang, you're not lying to mom? Ai walked over and grabbed Ai Yang's hand. Ai Yang said with a smile, Mom, why would I lie to you about something like this? Yun is really alright and she won't have any sequelae in the future. What, you don't trust my medical skills? That's wonderful. Ai hugged Ai Yang excitedly, this is truly wonderful. Hearing this, Shangguanxi also sighed in relief. If little Ai Yun had any sequelae, she would have been the sinner. Noticing Shangguanzai's thoughts, Ai Yang walked over, held Shangguanzai's hand and said, Sister Xiaoxi, this has nothing to do with you. You don't need to blame yourself. If I'm not wrong, there's someone behind all this. For little Ai Yun, Zuoling was a stranger. Just by himself, Zuoling couldn't take little Ai Yun away. So, Ai Yang suspected it was Wu Yenyun. Ai Yang's suspicion wasn't unfounded because after Mo Kishin's investigation, it was revealed that not only did Wu Yenyun meet Zuoling the night before the incident, but Wu Yenyun had also appeared at the wedding venue on the morning little Ai Yun was taken away by Zuoling. If Wu Yenyun wanted to dupe little Ai Yun, it would have been too easy. As an older sister, Ai Yang truly didn't want to witness this scene. But if it really was Wu Yenyun, then Ai Yang would definitely not forgive her. Yang, do you know something? Ai grabbed Ai Yang's hand. Ai Yang didn't directly answer Ai Hua's question but said instead, Mom and Dad, you stay at the hospital. Mo brother and I need to make a trip to the police station. I believe the police will bring justice for Yun. Okay. Ai nodded. Ai Yang looked at Mo Chishan. Mo brother, let's go. As Ai Yang walked, she took off the white coat she was wearing and Mo Chishan, walking beside her, naturally took it from her. Although it was already late into the night, the lights at the police station were still on. Mo Chishan provided the clues he had gathered to the police officer, who immediately interrogated Zuoling overnight. Zuoling had promised Wu Yenyun to take full responsibility himself. He absolutely wouldn't drag Wu Yenyun down with him. Besides, Wu Yenyun was just trying to help him. He couldn't betray Wu Yenyun. Zuoling refused to divulge the truth. Even though there was evidence that Wu Yenyun had met Zuoling before, it wasn't enough to prove that Wu Yenyun was the mastermind. Upon learning that Zuoling wouldn't tell the truth, Ai Yang said, Officer, can I meet Zuoling alone? That's. The police officer hesitated, probably not allowed. Ai Yang continued, I have a way to make Zueling confess the truth. I need to ask my superiors first. And Yang nodded. That would be appreciated. Soon the officer who went to ask returned. And Yang, the superiors have approved your request. Please follow me. The police officer led Yang to the interrogation room. Yang sat opposite Zueling. Seeing Yang, Zueling's emotions surged. Yang, you bitch. It's all your fault. It's because of you that I ended up in this mess. His life was ruined and so was his future. Yang, however, didn't get angry but instead was exceedingly calm. Zueling, you're hating the wrong person. What? Zueling was taken aback. I said, you're hating the wrong person. The real person who put you in this situation isn't me. It's Wu Yenyun. She's using you as a pawn. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1150 Arrest Wu Yenyu _6. Using someone else as a weapon? Zueling furrowed his brows. Yang continued, actually the person who truly hates me is Wu Yenyun, but Wu Yenyun is afraid of facing legal consequences, so she shifted all the blame onto you, wanting to use you to make my life miserable. Zueling roared, nonsense. It was clearly you. You are the one who harmed me. Yang gave a slight smile. Zueling, you're a university graduate after all, please use your brain for a moment, okay? Think about it, you're here in the police station being interrogated while Wu Yenyun is at home, sleeping soundly without a care in the world. Is that fair to you? Charges of kidnapping and attempted murder are very serious. You might end up paying with your life. Your parents are at home waiting for you to return. You are their only son. This matter clearly isn't just your fault alone. Why should you take the fall for someone else? Upon hearing this, Zueling's expression gradually began to relax. Yang pressed on, continuing to speak pointedly, Zueling, it seems you've wasted 4 years of college, you're not even as good as a high school student, being used by Wu Yenyun without even realizing it. Actually, you're just a pawn in Wu Yenyun's hand. She used you and you are still foolishly defending her. Think about it, are you being fair to your parents by doing this? At this point, Yang suddenly lowered her voice and slowly said, if you confess the mastermind with your circumstances, you definitely won't receive a heavy sentence. Really? Zueling, as if grasping at the last straw, looked at Yang with hope-filled eyes. Yang stood up from her chair, the corners of her mouth slightly curling up. Whether you can seize this opportunity or not is up to you. After saying this, she turned and walked out without looking back. Outside the interrogation room, several police officers stood together. Hey, do you think that girl really has a way to make Zueling confess his accomplices? It's hard to say, another officer shook his head. I don't think she looks all that influential. The records show she is 19 this year. Hearing this, another officer voiced his surprise, only 19 and already so capable? Her boyfriend is quite impressive too. He said in a lower voice, I just heard our boss respectfully calling him Mr. Mo. Of course, isn't it obvious? Who casually has millions in cash to be just anybody. Just then the door of the interrogation room was pushed open from the inside. Already out? The officers were somewhat surprised, guessing that the negotiation probably failed. After all, Yang was only 19 this year, they couldn't pin all their hopes on her alone. At that moment, shouting emerged from inside the interrogation room, "Ill talk. We'll talk. He'll tell everything." Hearing this, the police officers exchanged surprised glances, seeing astonishment in each other's eyes. Did it work? Xiaowang, let's go in quickly. Inside the interrogation room, Zueling cried, repenting his actions and thoroughly confessed the whole sequence of events. The police officers arrived at the Wu family's house at just past 6 in the morning. The Wu family was still asleep. The person who opened the door was Yen Erju. Seeing a group of police officers standing outside, Yen Erju froze. Police officers? Hello, may I ask if Wu Yenyun lives here? Yen Erju nodded. Yes, I'm her mother. I'm from the municipal police department. She is suspected in a case involving kidnapping and incitement to murder. This is an arrest warrant. Please have her come with us immediately. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1151. Evil will be met with evil. What? Yen Erju's face turned pale and tears immediately welled up in her eyes. How could this be? Is she experiencing auditory hallucinations? It must be auditory hallucinations. No. My Xiaoyun would never do such a thing. Officer, you must have made a mistake. A mistake. The officer standing in front stepped forward again, took out his police badge and arrest warrant, and repeated what he had said before. Comrade Wu Yenyun is now suspected of being involved in a kidnapping case and inciting a murder case. Please do not obstruct our police work. Yen Erju staggered back several steps. A group of police officers entered one after another. In which room is Wu Yenyun? I'll go call her out. Yen Erju wiped the tears from her face. The leading officer looked back at two female officers behind him. You two follow her together. Okay. Wu Jinshu, hearing footsteps outside, opened his sleepy eyes and came out to see a group of police officers standing in the living room. Wu Jinshu was stunned. What's going on? Why are there so many police officers at our home so early in the morning? Officer, is there anything that brings you here? Hello, are you the head of this household, Comrade Wu Jinshu? Wu Jinshu nodded, yes. The officer briefly explained Wu Yanyun's situation. Upon hearing this, Wu Jinshu was shocked. Murder? Kidnapping? My God. What has Wu Yanyun done? Wu Jinshu asked with a trembling voice. Officer, may I ask who is the victim? Hearing this, the officer was somewhat angry. The victim is Ni Yun. Little Ni Yun? Wu Jinshu continued. Is her sister Ni Yang? Aha. The officer nodded. It's over. What did Wu Yenyun say when Ni Yang came last time to find her? She said she didn't know anything about little Ni Yun. That little Ni Yun's disappearance has nothing to do with her. Outside the room, Yen Erju knocked on the door for a long time before it opened. Wu Yenyun, who had just woken up, rubbed her eyes and said, Mom, what's up so early? Before Yen Erju could speak, the female officer next to her continued, Wu Yenyun, right? We are from the Municipal Police Department. You are now suspected of a kidnapping case and inciting a murder case. Please come with us immediately. As soon as she finished speaking, cold handcuffs were clapped on Wu Yanyun's wrists. What? Wu Yanyun's sleepiness instantly vanished. She didn't do anything. Why are the police after her? Wu Yenyun struggled violently. No. I didn't do anything. What right do you have to arrest me? Two female officers, one from the left and one from the right, held Wu Yenyun. Behave. Our police handle cases based on evidence. We don't wrong a good person, nor do we let a bad person go. Mom? Save me. Save me. I really didn't. I didn't do anything. Xiao Yun. Yen Erju immediately followed them. Walking into the living room, Wu Yenyun called out for Wu Jinshu to save her. Dad. I'm being wronged. Save me. I was at home all day yesterday. I have an alibi. Why would you arrest me? I'm being wronged. Dad, get me a lawyer. You must get me out. Wu Yenyun cried and yelled. Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju followed them outside, watching helplessly as Wu Yenyun was taken into the police car. Not long after, Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju also went to the police station, and Wu Jinshu even hired a costly lawyer. Hospital. Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui had been in the ward for a day and a night. But little Ni Yun showed no signs of waking up. Shangguan Dehui said, Dia, go rest for a while. I'll watch over Yun here. I'll call you when she wakes up. Ni Tsuehua shook her head. I'm not sleepy. Little Ni Yun still hadn't woken up, and Ni Tsuehua rubbed her temples. Just then, little Ni Yun slowly opened her eyes on the hospital bed. She's awake. Shangguan Dehui's eyes lit up. Yunyun's awake. Dia, Yunyun's awake. Ni Tsuehua was also very excited. Yunyun. It's mommy. Does it still hurt? Seeing her parents, little Ni Yun's tears came down instantly. It doesn't hurt anymore. But I'm scared. Where did you guys go, Mom and Dad? I was so scared. Ni Tsuehua, who had barely held back her tears, now once again broke down. It's all Mommy's fault. Mommy didn't look after you well. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1152. Evil will be met with evil. Little Ni Yun saw her mom crying and felt panicked for a moment, sensibly saying, Mom, don't cry anymore. Look, Dad isn't crying. Okay, Mom won't cry. Little Ni Yun continued, Mom, where is my sister? And Sister Xiaoxi and Sister Adele? What about Big Brother? And my brother-in-law? They aren't here right now. They will come see you in a while. What about Grandpa, Grandma, and Grandma? Little Ni Yun asked again. Ni Tsuehua said, They are at home. What about my grandniece? Grandniece? Ni Tsuehua was momentarily startled, then said, Duo is also at home. Little Ni Yun sighed with relief. As long as they weren't taken away by the bad people, that's good. Hearing this, Quihua's eyes reddened once more. Just then the door of the ward was pushed open from outside. Yang and Imochi walked in holding fresh flowers. Seeing Yang, little Yun happily said, "Sister. Brother-in-law. Yun is awake." Yang smiled as she walked over. "Does it still hurt? Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere?" Little Yun shook his head. Yang reached out and touched little Yun's forehead. "If you feel uncomfortable anywhere, you must let Dad, Mom, and Sister know, okay?" Little Yun obediently nodded his head. Imochi placed the flowers at the bedside. "By the way, Uncle and Auntie, Zueling has already confessed the mastermind behind it all." "Who is it?" Tsuehua asked. Imochi said, "It's Wu Yenyun." "Wu Yenyun?" Upon hearing these three words, Quihua's blood froze. She couldn't believe that Wu Yenyun would do such a thing. "Xiaoma, are you joking with me? Is it really Yenyun?" Shengguan Dehue also felt somewhat surprised. How could it be Wu Yenyun? After all, she and little Yun were real sisters. Yang looked at Tsuehua. "Mom, Brother Imo isn't joking. The person behind Zueling is indeed Wu Yenyun. It was Wu Yenyun who caused Yunyun to end up like this." Tsuehua was stunned. Yang turned her head to little Yun. "Yunyun, tell sister, did Wu Yenyun come to find you yesterday morning?" Little Yun nodded. "Sister Yenyun came to find me. She even gave me a strawberry-flavored candy. After I ate that candy, I felt very sleepy, wanted to sleep, and when I woke up, I was next to that bad uncle. The bad uncle hit me and said he was going to kill me." Although little Yun was young, her thoughts were clear. Hearing this, Tsuehua said with reddened eyes, "Oh my God! How could this happen? Yunyun is her little sister. How could she do this to Yunyun? Little Yun is her daughter. Wu Yenyun is also her daughter. They are real sisters. As the older sister, how could Wu Yenyun bear to harm little Yun? She can hate me and take it out on me. Yunyun is innocent. Why would she do this?" Yang continued, "Her mind has completely twisted now. We can't understand her actions using normal people's thinking." "Where is she now?" Tsuehua asked. Yang said, "Having made a mistake, of course, she's at the police station being educated. For such actions, the minimum is life imprisonment." "What?" Tsuehua was stunned again. Minimum life imprisonment? If sentenced more seriously, could it not be the death penalty? Just then, Elder Zheng, Mrs. Zheng, and Xiaoyu walked in from outside carrying a thermos. Hearing about Wu Yenyun, both elders wore sorrowful expressions, never imagining Wu Yenyun could turn out like this. Xiaoyu said, "This Wu Yenyun truly deserves to die. When she caused Duoduo's death, she should have been sent to prison. Otherwise, little Yunyun wouldn't have suffered like this. Regrettably, killing a bird is simply not enough to land one in prison. I knew it. When I bumped into her on the street last time, I should have slapped her more. It really infuriates me. She's simply not human." Police station. Because the crime committed by Wu Yenyun was so severe, the lawyer was somewhat helpless. Under current circumstances, Wu Yenyun is facing the death penalty. Wu Yenyun tightly held the hands of Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju. "Dad, Mom, you must save me. I'm still so young. I don't want to be imprisoned. I don't want to die. Dad, Mom, please, you absolutely have to save me." She was only 18. Her life had just begun. How could she die? No. It cannot be. Yen Erju sobbed. "You child, really too foolish. How could you treat Yunyun like this? Now that it's come to this, what can we do? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 1153, Evil will be met with evil. You deserve it. You just deserve it. Wu Jinshu scolded Wu Yenyun. "You had a good life, but you chose to court death. Are you satisfied now?" If Wu Yenyun had gotten along with Yang right from the start like Adele without causing so much trouble, she would be even happier than Adele and little Yun now. It was all her own doing. "Dad, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done this. I deserve to die. Please, please save me." Wu Jinshu sighed. "If we had a way, would we just leave you to fend for yourself? Human life is at stake. What Wu Yenyun did was no small matter." Hearing this, Wu Yenyun cried even harder. Suddenly, her eyes lit up and she continued, "Go find Yang. Yang definitely has a way. I am her sister and Yang can't ignore me. Yang must save her. Just because she is Yang's sister, Yang has to save her. This is what Yang and the family owe her. If it weren't for Yang, she wouldn't have ended up here today. It's all Yang's fault. And I Yang must atone. And I Yang can find a way? Is she a god? Does she have 3 heads and 6 arms? Wu Jinshu wrinkled his brows tightly. The lawyer next said, if we can get forgiveness from the victim and their family, the court might give a lighter sentence based on the circumstances. Really? Asked Wu Jinshu. The lawyer nodded. Mom, Dad, did you hear that? And I Yang can save me. She can save me. Hurry and find her. Wu Yinyun clung to this last straw like it was her lifeline. Yen Erju said, you almost killed Yunyun. Would Yang still care about this matter? You also said it was just almost. She's not dead, is she? She's not dead, so why should my life be sacrificed? Wu Yinyun argued. Yen Erju sighed and remained silent. Leaving the police station, the faces of Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju were filled with a grim expression. After all, it was Wu Yinyun who had made the mistake. Would Enai Yang forgive Wu Yinyun? As parents, however, they couldn't just stand by and watch Wu Yinyun die. The couple decided to buy a bunch of nutritious gifts and went to the hospital to visit little Enai Yun, and while there try to plead with Enai Yang. When they arrived at the hospital, Shangguan Shi and Enai Tsuehua were accompanying little Enai Yun in the ward. Shangguan Dehui had gone to buy little Enai Yun's favorite candy. Yang Yang's mom, Xiaoxi, Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju stood somewhat awkwardly in the ward. Sister Erju, brother Jinshu. Enai Tsuehua stood up from the sofa. Godfather, godmother, you've come? Shangguan Shi also followed Enai Yang, calling Wu Jinshu and Yen Erju godparents. Yen Erju placed the nutritious gifts on the table and asked with concern, is Yun feeling any better? Enai Tsuehua nodded. She had a major surgery last night, but she's much better now. Yen Erju continued, Yang Yang's mom, I'm really sorry, it's our fault for not raising our child well. Xiaoyun knows her mistake now, she's only 18, still a child. Can you give her a chance to reform? Shangguan Shi found it difficult to speak and couldn't interject, but she felt Yen Erju was being somewhat selfish this time. Because of Wu Yinyun, little Enai Yun almost died. If it weren't for Mo Kishin's extensive connections finding Zueling in time, little Enai Yun would already be dead. Enai Quihua's eyes were very red and she didn't know what to do. Both the palm and back of her hands were dear to her. Wu Yinyun is only 18 years old. Should she really just watch her daughter die? What should she do? Yen Erju tightly grasped Enai Quihua's hand. Yang Yang's mom, I beg you, Xiaoyun is also your child. I beg you to let her go just this once. 18 years ago you already gave up on her once, are you going to just watch her die this time? Xiaoyun is still a child, she was just confused for a moment, she really knows her mistake. Yunyun is also still a child. Before the person arrived, their voice already reached. A crisp, clear voice sounded from outside the door. Yen Erju turned her head to look, only to see a slender, stern figure walking in, with a chiseled and expressionless face that still somehow conveyed a strong sense of distance. Yang. Yen Erju and Wu Jinshu stood up, looking towards Enai Yang. Enai Yang walked slowly inside. Wu Yinyun is already an adult, and she should pay the price for her actions. This matter can't be forgiven just because she says I'm sorry, I know I was wrong. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1154. Evil will be met with evil in front of Yenyun lay a life. A living, breathing life. Who knows how anxious Enai Yang was when Zueling pressed the dagger against little Enai Yun's neck. It was evident that Zueling had murderous intent at that moment. Enai Yang is no saint, she could not act as though nothing happened, and even less forgive Wu Yenyun. Wu Yenyun first killed Duo and then little Enai Yun. Enai Yang couldn't imagine what other earth-shattering things Wu Yenyun would do next. Wu Yenyun is now a ticking time bomb. Enai Yang can't possibly keep a bomb that might explode at any moment by her side. Erju wept inconsolably. Yang, she is your sister. Do you really want to watch her die like this? Yang, I'm begging you, please forgive her just this once? Erju had single-handedly raised Wu Yenyun. She couldn't bear to watch Wu Yenyun die. Enai Yang turned to Erju. Do you think I haven't forgiven her enough times? Enai Yang feels no remorse towards Wu Yenyun. Long ago, when she was saving Wu Yenyun, she already made it clear that their sisterly bond was severed, and Wu Yenyun's life and death no longer had anything to do with her. But she's your sister, Yang, please forgive her just this once, I promise that Xiaoyun will never be like this again. Enai Yang spoke calmly, if the person who was kidnapped wasn't Yunyun, if the person who almost died wasn't Yunyun, but your family's Erlong and Xiaolong instead, would you still be saying the same thing? Would you still speak of forgiveness so casually? As she spoke, Enai Yang paused, then continued, I know my words may sound harsh, but that's the reality. If it were Erlong or Xiaolong lying in the hospital bed today, would you forgive Wu Yanyan's actions? Finishing her speech, Enai Yang took a piece of paper from her bag and handed it to Erju. This is the critical condition notice issued by the doctor before Yanyan's surgery. Please take a look. Erju took the critical condition notice with trembling hands. Yang, is there really no room for negotiation in this matter? Enai Yang shook her head. The person hurt was Yun. None of us can forgive on behalf of Yun. Erju continued. But Xiaoyun is your sister after all. Your family already abandoned her once before. This time, can't you just let go and give back the life you owed her 18 years ago? After this, if Xiaoyun does anything wrong again, we definitely won't bother you. Our family no longer owes Wu Yanyan anything. I already gave her life back when she fell seriously ill 6 months ago. Once something begins, it can happen again and again. It seems that Erju has forgotten the incident from 6 months ago when Wu Yanyan was gravely ill and almost died. At that time, Enai Yang had pitted her past grievances and stepped in to save her. Wu Yanyan wasn't just ungrateful after recovering, she even bit the hand that fed her. Enai Yang didn't mind those things. She is a sister after all, she should have a forgiving heart. Afterward, Enai Yang still respected Wu Jinshu and Erju as her godparents and helped their construction company, even giving them projects worth nearly 5 million from her office building. But now Wu Yanyan had seriously endangered little Enai Yun's life, and Enai Yang couldn't continue to act like a saint and forgive her misdeeds. Impossible. During this time, Enai Tsuehua always wanted to say something, but hearing Enai Yang's words, she was lost for words. Because Enai Yang was absolutely right. The person harmed was little Enai Yun. The one who nearly died was little Enai Yun. Wu Yanyan should pay for her actions. On the way here, Erju had thought of many potential outcomes but never expected that Enai Yang would so heartlessly refuse to forgive Wu Yanyan just this once. They are blood sisters. Even if their bones break, the tendons still connect them. Enai Yang's action seemed somewhat too unkind. Jinshu consoled Erju. Forget it, this matter is indeed Yanyan's fault. She truly needs to face the consequences of her actions. Yang is right because Yanyan didn't harm our interests. That's why we could speak of forgiveness so easily. If today it were Erlong or Xiaolong lying on that bed, we might not be as forgiving as Yanyan. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1155. Evil will be met with evil. Wu Jinshu was very honest and also a very rational person. It was understandable that Enai Yang was unwilling to forgive Wu Yanyan. Erju knew it made sense, yet she was still heartbroken, holding Jinshu and crying uncontrollably. That was her daughter, the daughter she had raised for 18 years. Back at the police station, separated by a glass, Wu Yanyan asked anxiously, "Did Enai Yang already sign the forgiveness letter? When will they let me out? I hate it here, I want to go home. I want to take a shower." Life in prison was very hard, especially for a major suspect like Wu Yanyan. Erju, with tears streaming down her face, looked at Yanyan. "Yanyan, I'm sorry." Wu Yanyan couldn't believe it. Enai Yang didn't agree to sign the forgiveness letter? Erju nodded her head. Wu Yanyan clasped her head with both hands. How could this be? Why didn't she sign? What right does she have not to sign? It's all her fault that I ended up like this today. If it hadn't been for Enai Yang, she would never have come to this point. The 10-minute visitation time passed quickly, and Wu Yanyan was taken away by the prison guards. As she was leaving, Wu Yanyan didn't forget to shout, "Mom and Dad, you must go find Enai Yang again. Make Enai Yang save me. I don't want to die." Erju sobbed uncontrollably. In the hospital ward, Enai Tsuehua looked at Enai Yang. "Yang, will Yanyan be sentenced to death?" Enai Yang nodded her head. Given the situation, she's likely to be sentenced to death. What Wu Yanyan had committed was no trivial matter. Will she really die? Tsuehua was after all the biological mother, and she could not remain indifferent. "Mom, are you going to sign the forgiveness letter?" Enai Yang turned her gaze towards Tsuehua. Tsuehua paused. "Sign? Forgive?" She also didn't know. Enai Yang continued, "Mom, Wu Yanyan and my biological father and grandmother are all of the same kind. If you forgive her this time, not only will she not know remorse, but she may become even more outrageous. This time Yunyan was lucky to survive, but next time it might be me who dies." What? Could it really turn out that way? Enai Tsuehua looked at Enai Yang in surprise. Enai Yang smiled slightly. "Mom, don't think it's impossible. Do you know who Wu Yanyan hates the most right now? It's me. She always believes that I took everything from her. In fact, in her youth, N.I. Yang lived a life even harder than Wu Yenyun. But Wu Yenyun only saw what was shiny and beautiful in her. Cuihua continued, Yang, don't worry, mom has already made a mistake in a past life, I won't drag you down in the second half of my life. Things had reached this point and all she could do was let things take their course. Forget it, just consider that she had never had this daughter. N.I. Yang nodded her head, I'm really happy that you can think this way. Half a month later. The police station reported a result. Wu Yenyun was sentenced to death, to be executed in November. Upon seeing this result, N.I. Cuihua ran to a place devoid of people and cried bitterly. In the following days she seemed to have really forgotten this daughter. After Wu Yenyun was sentenced to death, Jinshu and Erju, the couple, felt they couldn't face N.I. Yang any longer. So they entrusted the project to another construction company and moved the entire family to Chuanqing, which was thousands of kilometers away from Beijing. For some people, it's perhaps better not to see them ever again in a lifetime. The Wu family's relocation didn't affect N.I. Yang much. She lived every day according to plan. Thinking about developing her skincare line, she had spare time to work on the business of the noodle restaurant and the milk tea shop, and she also needed to take care of the national beauty and heavenly fragrance. She was truly too busy and didn't have the mental space to think about the Wu family's matters. In the blink of an eye, it was the end of the year and in a few days it would be New Year's Eve. Because tomorrow, Grandpa Du was leaving Beijing for Shanghai. So today, Mo Qishan and N.I. Yang brought Xiaoyu to see off Grandpa Du. Grandpa Du was still the same as always. Even in the bone-chilling cold, he was dressed in a plain cloth robe, elegant like a schoolteacher, such that no one could peer into the ruthlessness and darkness at the bottom of his heart. Will Brother Du come back to Beijing next year? N.I. Yang asked. Grandpa Du smiled, maybe not anymore. Beijing was actually a grave for Grandpa Du, a grave that buried the not yet dead. If he stayed any longer, he feared he wouldn't be able to control himself. Therefore he wanted to stay far from here, far from Beijing. Out of sight, out of mind. When the heart is undisturbed, emotions fade away. And my senior brother? Will he go to Shanghai with you? N.I. Yang asked next. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1156. Evil will be met with evil. Grandpa Du twirled his Buddha beads. Ziki is not young anymore, he will stay by his parents' side to fulfill his filial duties in the future. Really? N.I. Yang was quite surprised. Grandpa Du nodded slightly. N.I. Yang continued, then my master and mistress must be very happy. If my senior brother conveniently finds a partner and gives my master and mistress a grandchild, they would certainly be even happier. As one gets older there are only so few wishes left. Xiaoyu was somewhat reluctant to let Grandpa Du leave. These days she had grown accustomed to his presence. If Grandpa Du were to leave, who would she chat with when she got bored? If she craved sweets, who would give them to her unconditionally? Xiaoyu seemed to have envisioned her bleak future already. Are you really going to leave? Xiaoyu looked up at Grandpa Du. Grandpa Du nodded slightly. Beijing is just a place for me to avoid disaster. Shanghai is my home. Originally he came to Beijing to escape calamity. Grandpa Du still remembered the highly accomplished monk who said he would avoid a disaster in Beijing and meet a benefactor of his lifetime. Now it seems the monk's words were not false. He did indeed meet a benefactor of his lifetime in Beijing. It's just a pity that the timing was not right. Xiaoyu then said, then you can also settle down in Beijing for a long time. You've been living quite well in Beijing, haven't you? You're not suffering from any discomfort, and Beijing has your favorite national beauty flowers. Shanghai doesn't have national beauty. Still twirling his Buddha beads, Grandpa Du replied, it's just a craving of the tongue. He never coveted such cravings. He just couldn't forget that one night in the deep forest when he had his first bite of roasted chicken leg, the first grilled fish. People are bound to have their sentimental attachments, not related to the wind and the moon. Many years ago when he read this poem, he just smiled and passed it by, even somewhat unable to understand what being sentimentally attached meant. Thinking about it now, the ridiculous one was him. Xiaoyu seemed to think of something, somewhat incredulous. You're not really going to become a monk, are you? Don't worry, not for the time being, Grandpa Du spoke with a light tone. Not for the time being? Xiaoyu frowned slightly. What does not for the time being mean? Does that mean you will in the future? Grandpa Du looked out the window. Under the sprawling snowflakes, a plum tree blossomed vigorously, red and white intermingling, exceptionally eye-catching, just like the startling first glance upon their first meeting. Maybe, he said slowly. Xiaoyu sighed. What's so good about becoming a monk? You can't even eat meat nor can you drink. Little jerk, don't be discouraged. In her haste, Xiaoyu couldn't help but blurt out this nickname again, and by the time she realized it, the words had been said and she immediately covered her mouth. Fortunately, Grandpa Du didn't say much else. The next day, Mo Qishan drove Grandpa Du to the airport. And Ai Yang and Xiaoyu also went along. On the 27th of the 12th lunar month, Grandpa Du took the plane from Beijing heading to Shanghai. Xiaoyu looked up at the large airplane roaring overhead, suddenly filled with emotion. Would she never see that jerk again? 3 days later it was Chinese New Year's Eve. Jonathan and Luana were celebrating the New Year in China for the first time. The festive atmosphere in China was thick, quite different from the New Year in M country. At this moment, a few elders were gathered together cutting window decorations, preparing to paste couplets, and outside the window the snow floated down. Inside there was jubilation. Although the Ni family had married off a daughter this year, with the addition of Adele and her grandparents, the household was as lively as ever. Ai Yang, holding a writing brush, was coming down the stairs when there came a knock at the door. Ai Yang ran to open the door. As the door opened, she saw a tall and jade-like figure looking up, the seductive Adam's apple, the exquisite jawline. It was Mo Qishan. Brother Mo, how come you're here? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know reports so we can fix it as soon as possible.